it somebody right on my core? This is the moment you're meant to know.
Hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I'm here to do a reading on Saweetie. She just recently released an EP. It had 4 songs on there. One was or was it 3 songs? And one was a single that she pre-released, which is both of them. And then or both of them, both of them. There we go. That was a good song. Me and Lady Crow enjoyed that song very much. We love Saweetie over here, honestly. And Saweetie, welcome back to the music industry. First and foremost, let's do that. Let's just give a round of applause for Saweetie for making her grand return, her grand debuts. Again, thank you, Saweetie, for gracing us with your presence yet again with your music talents. No matter what people say about you, your musical rapping skills, your performing skills, your dance skills, which I see you didn't dance much. So I'm not sure if you have given up on dancing, but hey, listen, you got to learn your strengths and weaknesses and what you're good at and what you're not. And like I've been hearing a lot on the word on the street is that you represent pretty rap. So with that being said, you are focusing on aesthetics and beauty and looking like a pretty girl. So because of that, you are learning to focus your talents and gifts where they are needed. So with that being said, you looked good in both of them. I wish you had a music video for Pressure. High Pressure was a good name for the EP, honestly, because you've definitely been under pressure. What I do enjoy about this album is that it's very eclectic. It's a different vibe. So much so that even Saweetie has done another pre-release, which was a single, and that was done with the K-pop girl group Twice. So, honestly, Twice was just first off, whoever your marketing team is, that was genius. Not just because you collabed with a K-pop artist, but just for the simple fact that you collaborated with Twice and you represent pretty girl rap. That Twice, and that's K-pop, chef's kiss, perfect concoction. Whoever was on your marketing team thought about that collab very well. They thought that one out. So I'm glad Twice's producers and company JYP was on boat for that. So thank you for everybody that made that collab a possibility. But bringing it back to the music, American music industry, Saweetie has also, there's rumors on the street, everybody's talking about how Saweetie allegedly slept with Offset. Now, I thought Offset had said this on his recent interview with Joe Budden, but apparently he did not. He was talking about Cardi B and how all his exes has never had an upgrade. He has always been the best they ever had. And you know what? I can't front you on that. Have that confidence, bro. Yes. Get it. Yes. Nobody's an upgrade. Everybody's a downgrade. Yes. Know your worth. But because of that, somehow DJ Academics, yet again, always entering the chat, had something to say about this and hinted and suggested that he had slept with Saweetie. And that's exactly what how do we get back on this? And then to remember that this all happened back in 2021, 2022. So that's like 3 years ago now. And we're still talking about it, even though Offset is now a single man. And we know that him and Cardi B are going through a struggle divorce. He talked about it in a whole 3-hour long interview. 3 hours about him and his divorce. That was a huge therapy session. But he just talked about his music and all that. But I'm not here to talk about Offset. I'm here to talk about Saweetie. But this is everything that's being attached to Saweetie. So it's almost convenient, if you ask me, that these two things just happen to happen and coincide at the same time. Just around the time Saweetie drops and makes her EP, makes her return back to the music industry, we have to be reminded of her and Offset and Cardi B. And we're not even going to talk about the whole drama that's going on with Cardi B and the alleged rumors of pregnancy. But so because of that, I want to know, how is Saweetie doing now that she has returned back to the music industry? That's what I would like to know. I'm not going to ask about her love life, because she hasn't talked about it. Actually, has she been? Did I see her in an interview? I think I might be getting her mixed up with somebody else. However, we know that Saweetie is definitely single. She's focusing on her career. I did look it up. Saweetie is currently not in a relationship. So with that, I'm just going to pull some shuffles. Honestly, let's just get back to Saweetie and her music career. Let's let that be our main focus, because that's what derailed her career, among many other things. But that's what really derailed her career, was her love life. And she has honestly opened up about it before, saying that she allowed love and relationships to get in the way. So she too has found her way back on track and back on path. So with that being said, let's just see how Saweetie feels. And she has also said that this EP, even though it was 4 songs, I'll say 5, even though it was 3 or 4 songs, depending if she wants to include that single, both of them. She said that she took maybe a good year or so to work on that album, and she knows that she took a while, but she wanted to perfect it. She wanted to make sure that when she released it, it was her stamp of approval. So because of that, I appreciate that. Anybody that puts love into their craft, she still truly wants to be a musician, and I hope that she can revamp her music career. So how's Saweetie's music career? How's the future looking for it? Is it bright? Is it gonna look good? How's it looking for Saweetie? Okay. All right, shuffled enough. Okay, I like that. Saweetie is the high priestess. We have the hangman at the bottom. Okay. Whew, I was getting nervous there for a second. We have the page of swords. We're back to the hot major arcana cards. We got the world card. Oh, and swords. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This we got major arcana cards paired with the swords. But it's looking hopeful. I'll say that much about her career. And actually, for her career, I don't see a single pentacle on here. The only pentacle I see is the world card. So for something that's about her career, to see nothing related to the material world is quite interesting. So it seems like this is all spiritual and mental. So it's all within, and it's inner work. And that's exactly what we're getting, because that's what Saweetie is, the high priestess. And that's exactly what the high priestess does. She goes within. She searches the inner depths and the inner trenches that you would usually choose not to dare. Wow, where's my English today? This retrograde is still retrograding. That's all I got to say. We're going to get the English together. But the high priestess here represents going through the trenches that you normally wouldn't want to go through on your day-to-day basis. And because of that, because Saweetie decided to go there, do some shadow work, do some inner work, she has came back to her career rejuvenated, almost having a better sense of herself, but also knowing where the next step in the future is going. And she hopes that she can achieve it. But now that she's got her drive in her mind, like they say, got to get your head in the game. Now that she got her head in the game, she's ready to tackle the music career again. In the past, she has done some work with the Page of Swords. She is still feeling a sense of learning her footing in the industry. She still feels like a newbie or a novice when it comes to her career because it was high at one point, but as quickly as it soared up, it was about as quickly as it went down as well. And she has fixed some things along the way, but more importantly, she has fixed herself inside and now is emerging as a new person. So she's a bit, I don't want to say awkward, but she's coming out evolved. Somebody who is much less phased about things, but still sensitive on the core, on the inside. But I'm not going to let you see me sweat. So, because of that, we're going to see how people react to this album because she has done the work to process. So, it's like, however, you guys choose to accept my EP, it's how you guys choose to accept my EP. I know I've done the work. I know I've put all the time and energy that it is to my standard and my liking, and it is my approval to put it out. And it is Sweetie approved 100%. So, because of that, she is willing to put her music out there and stand by it. And because of that, that is a new stance from Sweetie, a stance of uh you're not gonna see me fall kind of energy. And that's what we see with this world card. She is coming back to her career. It's almost like she's coming, like they say, you go back to the same I laugh in the same places I used to cry kind of energy. That's exactly how she feels. Like she's having a full circle moment where she had once ran away from her problems, which was the music industry. She is now ready to come back and face it. How old is Sweetie, actually, now that I'm thinking about it? Because I'm wondering if she's having a Saturn return, just out of curiosity. Oh no. Well, that's actually really good to know that she has just recently came out of a Saturn return. Actually, let's see. When was the last time she had released a song? Mhm. 2019. How many years ago was that? Of course. Of course. Of course. Okay. I had to do a little bit in-depth research right there because I had to make the puzzles click here because the last time she had released a song, at least according to Google, please leave your comments down below if you want to correct me or on this timeline. But from the Google research that I had just did, before she had released both of them, which is in 2025, the last song that she released was in 2022, but her rise to fame was in 2019. Now I know that was a lot of years that I just ran out to you, but she is currently 32, so she's not 27. However, when she came up in the industry, she was 27, so she was in a Saturn return period. And what seemed to happen once she officially got out of that Saturn return, she fell off in the music industry. and that was around when she was in her 30 or 29. And that's usually when you're at the start of your Saturn return, or you're in your mid of your Saturn return, because your Saturn return is about 2.5 years. So from 27 to 30, she was kind of dealing with her Saturn return. And now that she's 32, which brings us up to present day, and she's coming back to the music industry, she's coming back after her Saturn return, that she has learned her lessons. She has done that inner work. Going back to this, I haven't talked about it, but that hangman, surprisingly enough, because the hangman is always taking a voluntary solitude break, and it's to reflect on yourself, get a different perspective, because when you're hanging upside down, all the blood rushes to your head. A, that's not a good thing, but B, that allows your blood to kind of like get a reset. Even though all the blood comes to you, like comes to your head, all the other bodies in your limbs are able to get flushed out, if you want to think about it in a medieval sense. So it gets flushed out, and then once you're standing right back up and the blood rushes back to the rest of all of your body, you're now replenished, you're now rejuvenized, you have been able to process and think things more clearly, because when there's more blood in an area, that's technically inflammation, but that's a good thing, because that creates a lot of heat, a lot of friction, a lot of movement, a lot of energy. So therefore you could be those gears are really turning in your brain. So when you're in that hangman position, paired with the high priestess, then topped with the world card, well, I'll have to say, Saweetie is in the ride of her life right now. And this is both risky for her to come back to the industry. She is concerned. She is like, hold it for bated breath. But she's taking it for what it is, because she is confident within herself, and she's centered within herself, and she understands who Saweetie is, the worth of Saweetie, and what Saweetie can and cannot do. And once you know your strengths and your weaknesses, then you can really soar. Once you're able to realize what are your setbacks, you're able to step forward. So that's exactly what I've seen Saweetie has taken the time out to do. And you can't do that while you're still trying to work and do everything else. You can, but it's a longer process to reach. And if you want change, and if you want instantaneous change, you're really going to have to really stop everything. And we know how hard that is to do in these days in life. But when you're a celebrity, you can just stop everything, focus on yourself for a few years, and then come back even stronger, even better. Saweetie 2.0, where it would have taken somebody like 5-8 years to get there, Saweetie was able to do it in 2 to 3 years. So because of that, she was able to do her shadow work, her inner work, her Saturn return work, and make it out better, and come out better on the other side. And she's going to use that for her industry, because that's truly what she wants. She wants to be famous. She wants to be a celebrity. She wants to be the pretty girl rapper. So because of that, just because she fell, you got to get back up, fix your crown princess, and come back on the scene and own your empire. And that's exactly how Saweetie is coming back to the music scene. And we see here with the eight of swords, that's usually feeling trapped and bound, but trapped and bound by your own perspectives and your own illusions. You're not willing to see outside of the box. You're only willing to see it within the same patterns and habits that you're used to. And that maybe could mean, but Saweetie has done some change in work. So maybe that's because we, as the general audience, is not going to see that prominently at first with this music release. But the more she does interviews, maybe the more we get her in person, the more she presents herself on social media, the more she comes out the shell, then we'll be able to see the real Saweetie emerge, and the real Saweetie stand up. Once we're able to see through the clouds and the shreddedness, once we're able to stop thinking about Offset and her having that elevator fight, and stop thinking about how Saweetie, I don't know, slept around in the industry. If we could stop thinking about all those things, Just stop about all those things and making fun of her. I mean, she has lost weight. She has toned up. She is the pretty girl. For real, for real. She is. She did not let that go. Like Meg the Stallion kept up Hot Girl Summer, Sweetie kept up Pretty Girl Rap. And because of that, she is carving her lane. She knows what she wants and she knows who she is. And she's coming back to it, but better, but stronger and more secure within herself. So let's pull some outside forces before I go to the Oracle card if I need them. Sorry, Mama Oracles. We are going to just see some outside forces when it comes to Sweetie's career. In the past, we have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Daughter or the Page of Wands. Okay, we have the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords. Interesting. In the future, we have the Fool. I love that. And then we have, the Two of Wands. Interesting. I don't know what that means for her love life, but what it means for the sake of her career is in the past, like I said, she was at the pinnacle. She was at the peak of her career, it felt like. And as quickly as she rose up, as quickly as she fell down. And that's exactly what we see here with this Ten of Pentacles. She had it all. And because she had it all, she was able to go and become a recluse for a few years. That money was able to keep her self-sufficient as long as it needed to until she was ready to come back out and release more music. And that's where we see the Daughter or the Page of Swords and the Page of Wands, both intellectually and both creatively. All energy, all invisible forces that gives you drive and motivation. Drive is that that fire, and that motivation is your mental. She's got the willpower. She's got the inner flame within her. She's been lit again, all over again, and her love for music has been reunited within herself, and she has now aligned her thoughts to align with the career that the life path that she is trying to pay for herself. And she will pay for herself like fire is a trailblazer. She's going to shoo. And because she was born on July 2nd, which is a Cancer, she too has a hard exterior, but she's a softie on the inside. She is really, truly sensitive. But just because of that, she's not going to allow that to stop her from getting what she wants. And just because there were some few haters out there that were, and even though it could have been some out there that was truly being constructive criticism, she took it to heart, a little bit too much to heart, but she heard you guys. She heard you guys, and she's back. It took her some time, but she heard you guys. And that's exactly what we see here in the future with this Fool card. The Fool symbolizes her coming back to the scene fresh, new, not naive, not the same Sweetie she was before, but a new Sweetie. And this Sweetie is ready to take on the future, whatever that future has to behold for her. And that's exactly what I see here with this Two of Wands. This could be her reuniting with her fans. Maybe she's going to have some concerts. Maybe she wants to start building up towards a tour. Maybe this EP is just the beginning, just the start of her getting back to her old self, her new evolved self. So because of that, I see it's honestly looking good for Sweetie and her career. And I was really hoping it was going to look that amazing and great for her, because I'm sure with all that time and breaks that she has taken, which I see right here, she has done. And that's exactly what is coming out in her present moment with all the major arcana cards that she has. Actually, this is completely ruled over by major arcana cards, and that means that she has done some inner work. Her career has been a journey for her. It really has been. It has taken her to some low places, some places she did not think she was going to visit or ever revisit. But in order to move forward and to get to where she wants to go and evolve, she's going to have to break. Like I said, she had already reached a pentacle, but that wasn't where she was satisfied with. She wanted to get more, and she couldn't. There was forces and obstacles coming up against her, so that way she could go inside and do that work. And the new Sweetie that we're seeing emerge out of it is all the hard work that we have been waiting to see blossom and grow when we were, I don't want to say screaming and yelling at her, but you guys get it in metaphor. She finally got it. She finally heard. And even though she tried doing some camp things, and that still didn't seem to work out and make you guys feel happier about her. Listen, I know you guys are paying your money. You're expecting a particular outcome and energy from your performers. I completely get it. I'm not mad at it. I'm not hating it. You have the right to talk about how you have the right to judge her for how you spend your money. So because of that, it's an equal give exchange in that sense. And that's exactly what I see here with this Two of Wands, that she is coming back to that dynamic, but she is hoping to build a better connection with her fans, and that her fans are truly going to love her and see the work that she has done for herself. I'm sorry. And see the work that she has done for herself and put into her career, and see that it has actually worked. Maybe that's why she wanted a versatile album, to show you that she can do things different, that she's not the same old girl, that she could be pretty girl rap no matter what genre you put her in. And honestly, that is a good statement to start off with, Sweetie. Welcome back to the industry. So what do you guys feel about this reading on Sweetie? I sure enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below. I wouldn't have expected anything less from Sweetie. And when you take a hiatus from your music career, and I enjoyed the album, Mama Crone enjoyed the album. Did you guys enjoy the album? Leave your comments down below. If you haven't checked out the album, check out the album. But if you haven't seen the music video, at least check out the music video for both of them. Okay? BOFFUM. Both of them. Go check out that music video at least to see the new Sweetie emerge before us and before our faces. So that way you can see what I mean by she looks beautiful. She's glowing, looking ethereal. She is not as thick. And like I said, she wasn't dancing as much. She has learned her lesson. You guys, I don't want to say beat or took the insecurity out of her, but you guys had showed her and helped her realize her strengths and weaknesses. And she is learning that she has really pulled in her strengths, pretty girl rap, and let go of her weaknesses, and that she's not a dancer. You're not going to get a bunch of twerking. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Sweetie. I sure did. And welcome to Pretty Girl Rap. And maybe this is a new era of music that we're going to enter into. I don't know. Maybe Sweetie could be that next trailblazer. With that being said, I will see you sunflowers in the next one. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. It would really mean a lot to the channel. We would really appreciate it. Please and thank you. Give this video a thumbs up. Share this with anybody that likes Sweetie, anybody that is into rap, anybody that's into tarot, anybody that's into news with tarot, anybody that's into being reading into celebrities' souls and seeing what's going on with them in their inner work and how that affects their careers and what we're seeing. Because what we see on the outside is just a physical manifestation of what's going on the inside. But with that being said, share that with somebody that's into any of that or all of that. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Leave your comments down below. And with that being said, sunflowers.